Hi everybody, I've got a custom journal for MJ today. MJ today, that rhymes. And it measures 4 3/4 by 7 1/2, and the spine is right under 2 inches. We'll call it 1 3/4. Got a real pretty sari ribbon bow on it and some ephemera in the background with 2 ladies and parts of a doily here with a little pearl. It's got a muslin closure stitched in blue. Isn't that gorgeous fabric? That is just gorgeous fabric. It's been coffee stained and inked, and it's a biggin. Let's go inside. Ooh, look at that. Alligator mouth. We call it in the South. Okay. I have this ruler here so it can help me stay in frame. And I know where I am because the camera's above my head now. Here we've got some lace running all around the outside of the book on the edge. And over here is a pocket, a muslin pocket stitched in the blue with some sari silk and different fabrics in a rose. A picture of vintage ladies. A little piece of a book page there. It's got some ephemera in the background and stitched around the edge of the book. And it's got just a piece of coffee dyed paper right there. Over here, it's all been stitched in the navy blue. A pretty place to journal. And again, you know, I let my pages hang over and do crazy things. Over here is a piece of paper that's been stamped with a rose, some ephemera, and I let the images from the other side just hang over and stitched them. More ephemera here with a piece of newspaper that's been attached. Isn't that just cool? Here's a pocket with a little embellishment, and you know what? I think that is a pocket. That is a pocket. Wait a second. Let me get something to work with here. We need a little something, something. We need a little something, something cute. That's cute. Alright, and that's cute. They're 2 cuties. We'll see which one looks best. But I think this is a pocket too. And it is. Looky there. We like that one. Or do we like this one? Colors go better. Very cute. Little pocket in the front with the teacup. Cute little flower. And a piece of ephemera to journal on that's lined on the back. Just fits in there really perfectly. Stitched around the edge here. Oh, don't you do that. You stay right there. Okay. I did a lot of the collages in this book. Excuse me. And this is the first one. It's got some lace and a little place to make a note and a vintage lady. And the heavy coffee dyed. Again, the contrast y'all know that I just absolutely love. Tons and tons of ephemera that's been stitched. I stitched around it here and I just let it come on through. To me, that just adds something. Over here, I put an invoice or a ticket and stuck up their sale price. I thought that was cute. And this is a little tag booklet with a patch that I like to make that I stamped an ink pen on. Different pieces of ephemera and fabrics on it. Well, my fumbly fingers. There we go. Over here is an image that's been stamped, and I put a little vintage lady on it. And it's got a piece of ephemera in the background, and this serves to hold the paper in place. It's a piece of burlap with, it's got gold stitching throughout. And it just holds that nice and neatly. Oh, isn't that cute? I just love them, and I just love the stitching, how it just comes on over. Vintage ladies' hat. Y'all know I love those hats. And here's a big journaling card with a piece of a doily and fabrics with lace over it and a pearl. And here's a pocket that matches the front cover. It's the same fabric, got a big piece of lace on it. This says Honolulu, which I thought was appropriate for MJ. And a butterfly. That just slips down in there. Another collage here with some advertisements and a vintage lady and a little bee ad. And here is some sari silk on a clock with a little mini envelope and a little ticket inside. And over here is a real pretty piece of background paper. I put part of a postcard there, a little tiny image. I like purple and green together, and gold. And that's a piece of sari silk. More ephemera. Nice big page for journaling, and I stitched around the label. Another big spot for journaling. More ephemera. Isn't she pretty? An angel I stitched around. I just let it come on through. There's another little mini collage with some lace and a little advertisement it looks like for a chocolate tea room and a vintage lady. Lots of sari silk. Seam binding. I get those two mixed up sometimes. And a little patch that I made. Look. You know those animal pictures crack me up, so I put one in here. Little dachshund riding on his shoulder. Here you got a big piece of lace behind this advertisement. Another collage with lace. A little card here. Beautiful lady. And this is an envelope that has a little piece of coffee dyed paper. I wanted it to stay up top and not get lost down in there, so I chose a little one. More stitching. More stitching. Look, this reminds me of my brother, I swear. He would do this. You know, walking the dog, and instead of putting the umbrella over himself, he puts it over the dog. Cracks me up. More stitching around the postcard here. And this image is available in my Etsy shop. More stitching. This is a piece of poetry book page. And I just put that over it and stitched around it a bunch of times. And so that would be a perfect place to put something. You know, because you've already got the stitching for the frame. Love it. I think this has got to be my favorite page, and you know it's because of the contrast of the muslin with the coffee dyed paper. I just love that combination. Real pretty image here with a safety pin, and it's just some different fabrics, and the safety pin has a little pearl on it. And this is a larger notebook. More ephemera. Look at that pretty piece of lace. Love it. Love it. This is really a loaded journal. I love making those. And you know, one of these days, I'm going to make one that's so loaded that there's no place to write. Wouldn't that be cool? Just to have one to look at and enjoy. Be a conversation piece. Some coffee dyed papers here. Little pocket. It says 1813. No refunds, no exchanges on a ticket. Big piece of ephemera. I just like how those fit in there. Oh, MJ, I'm slipping again. That's a tuck spot that I didn't get anything for, but I put a little ticket in here and in this little envelope that acts to hold a piece, and I will fill that. Matter of fact, I'm going to use this as a bookmark to remember where it is. How's that? And another postcard that's sewn on. And you know, sometimes my sewing machine has a mind of its own, and I just let it come on through and do its thing, and it just adds a little something. More stitching down the piece of ephemera. Some birdies with a big piece of lace here. And lace coming down the edge with some muslin. On the other side, a little piece of seam binding there in a perfume bottle. Over here is a glass seam bag with a big piece of a doily and another image with a floral background, and another part of a doily back here, and a coffee dye piece of paper that fits down in there. Lots of stitching on this one. I really like that. Really, really like that. Over here is part of a book page and a little heart that has some lace over it and an image of a lady. Stitching running down this piece of ephemera. I stitched around this label here. Over here is a pocket, and it's got images of corsets and ladies' undergarments and big piece of lace here. And I stitched round and round and round like crazy on this pocket. And put a big piece of ephemera behind there. And on the inside, I put a little mini booklet and an index card that says Vintage Finds. Another piece of ephemera with the stitching on the other side with a pretty angel. This opens up. It's just layered after layer after layer. Got a piece of damask and music paper, a little something sticking out there with a beautiful image of a lady in a gorgeous dress. And it opens up, and it's got a place to journal here. And it's attached to this page, a piece of ephemera, so you've got this space too. Over here is a pocket made from a time card. And I put a piece of embroidery, part of a napkin there, a little piece of a fabric and some lace and some satin, blue satin, a little coffee dyed paper there, and another ruffle. And then behind it is also a pocket. And I put a piece of coffee dyed paper back there, and then I put a blue damask image behind that. Over here is a vintage lady with a rose and some seam binding there and a piece of ephemera. Over here I just did a little collage. I used a background image of flowers and put some book pages from that old book that I have, and a vintage lady. And then on this I put vintage style, and on this one I put a rose. And it just tucks in. Real pretty muslin there and a flower. More ephemera with a little canoe on the lake. Another pretty image that you could put something pretty there. A little more stitching. Another big place to journal there. Another collage here of a lady. I did a little stamping. It's part of a book page. Advertisement. Here's a little card for a little note. Again, that's stitching round and round and round. More ephemera. Here's a pocket that I put some lace over and put one of my, I love these images. So I put the lady with the hat and a little advertisement for Amsterdam. This has got a bunch of different fabrics with a big safety pin, and inside I put 2 really big cards. This is sari silk, and then a nice big journaling card with a real pretty background. I like how it's stitched around. And here's the back, a nice big ticket to journal on. Those are just fun. And then a piece of sari silk that's been sewn onto a piece of paper that's been heavily crackled and stained. Nice little image back here. And then this pocket coordinates with this pocket. And it's got some ladies with the rose and the different fabrics on it. And here's the back again. This is, I attach the muslin down so it won't fall off. And here's the front. I want to thank y'all for being here with me today. MJ, I hope you like your journal. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.